we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. This goes with conjunction with the things that we've done in the previous sections. First off, when we talk about parallel lines, here's our symbol for parallel line, two lines straight up that don't intersect. If that happens, and we're just going to look at the slopes, that means that slope 1 is equal to slope 2. So if you were told that two lines are parallel, you know their slopes are exactly the same. So if I gave you the equation y equals 3/5 x plus 8, what is the slope of this line? AJ?
3/5.
So the slope of this line would be 3/5. So what would be the slope of a parallel line? Gotta have somebody else, AJ.
3/5.
It would be 3/5. So if they ask you, are the lines parallel, you're going to get in the slope-intercept form, you're going to identify what the slope. If they both have the same slope, then they are said to be parallel. All right. So that's what makes parallel lines. Now let's deal with perpendicular. If you notice the symbol perpendicular, it's an upside down T. And again, we're going to look at the slopes. If you have two lines that are said to be perpendicular, then the product of their slopes is a -1, or we say that one slope is the negative reciprocal. So if I gave you the equation y equals 3/5 x plus 8, the slope of this line is equal to, Zoe? I want the slope of this line right here, 3/5. And now if I want the slope of a line perpendicular to it, and again, if you just put the M with the little upside down T beside it, I want to know what will be the negative reciprocal. Taylor?
Would that be -5/3?
It would be. Because it is the negative reciprocal. If I multiplied these two slopes together, I would get a -1. Now, both of these sections have one other thing that they both are going to ask you to do. Give me a slope.
3 over 8.
Let's do it this way.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't know why I picked 8.
All right, here is my equation. I would like you to write a new equation that goes through the point, -4, 1. I would like you to write an equation that is parallel to this one that goes through the point -4, 1. And this is what they're going to ask on the homework. Well, the first thing you need to do, what's the slope of this line? Can you see it right here? No. You have to get it in the slope-intercept form, which means I would add a -3x to both sides, and then I would divide by 8. So now, what is the slope of this line? Zoe?
-3/8.
So now I know the slope is a -3/8. I have my point, -4, 1. I would put it in the point slope form. I would substitute my pieces in there. Then you have to decide which manner that the book wants you to give the equation. Do they want it in point slope, slope intercept, standard form? Usually, if it's me, I want it in slope intercept, so that you would dp and then your final answer would be y equals a negative 3/8 x minus a half, because I added a positive 1. And again, it depends on what the instructions it says in the book. Well, let's go over to the other side. Say they do the same thing. They give you an equation in whatever form they want. I want you to write the equation of a line perpendicular to this one through, oh, Ellie, give me a point.
2, 3.
Through 2, 3. So if I'm going to do that, I have to start the same way. I have to figure out what the slope is. Well, I'm going to add my negative 3x. I'm going to divide by 8. Now, Nick, what is the slope of this line?
Negative 3/8.
Katie, can you tell me what the perpendicular slope to this line would be? It'd be a positive 8/3, because it's the negative reciprocal. The signs have to be opposite. If I multiplied these two together, I would get a negative 1.
Question.
Yeah.
Behind the red M, is that the perpendicular
That
side?
is the perpendicular side. Now, once you know your slope, you go back to your point slope form. You substitute in the ordered pair that they gave you and your new slope. You use your distributive property. Then I'm going to add a positive 3 to both sides of the equation. And here would be the equation of a line that's perpendicular to my given line through my given point. I will send the video with a copy of these notes. Turn it off. Zoe.